Hi there, I'm Clifford Bates, and welcome once again to Reading Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics. Today we're wrapping up the two books on friendship, and today wrapping up book 9 and chapter 12, the last chapter of 9, which wraps up the evaluation of the two books on friendship in Aristotle's Ethics. So let's stop here and let's go right to the text. Ooh, we're right over here. Right, this is not going to be a long text. This. So let's go do it. This is going to be the wrapping, final, ultimate chapter, right, of the volume. Just as then, lovers are fondest of seeing the beloved, right, and choose this sense perception more than the rest on the grounds that love exists and arises especially in reference to sight. So it is similarly in the case of friends that living together is more choice-worthy. In other words, seeing the beloved is the big thing in that sense. The thing you love, the desire, seeing it, this brings the greatest pleasure, he's saying. So then is it the same thing about living together, that it's seeing living together and doing this most? Is this really so similarity in the case of friends, that living together is most choice-worthy? For friendship is a community, koinonia, is a community. And as someone is disposed towards himself, and so he's disposed towards a friend. So therefore, friendship is a koinonia. Ooh, friendship is a koinonia. It is a kind of community. And it's one based on equity of perception, and that you don't need justice because you have friends. You have justice in that sense. You have equity. You have reciprocity, because this friendship, by its true character, is a reciprocity. So therefore, there is this conception here of a koinonia. This leads us to remember that back to book. I'm going to do this for a second. Just think all the way back to book 1, chapter 2, where he argued that there was a koinonia based on begetting, and a koinonia based on wisdom, foresighted and not. This is the third. This is the third basis of koinonia, of shared life together. Friends are what? Those are the goods of sharing a life together, of living together and sharing benefit from each other. The question is not having necessary foresight for better a foresight, but rather this. Remember the utility. The three types of friendship here. The good friendship is the best, but utility and pleasant is not wrong. It is benefit. It has this aspect of koinonia here, this togetherness. So therefore, we should understand this is the fact that this is missing from chapter 2 should raise questions for us. Why is this missing into book 2 of Aristotle's Politics? Maybe it's present, but maybe it's a silent. Maybe it's presumed. Maybe this is the community. This is the koinonia, right? We're talking about the political community. So therefore, this is kind of a very important issue here. Now he says what? He says, for friendship is a community, and as someone is disposed towards himself, so he is disposed towards a friend, right? This idea. The perception, a perception a person has about himself, namely that he exists, is choice-worthy, that he exists. Just as it is the comparable perception about a friend at well, that he exists as well. He exists. The perception of myself that I have has about himself, that I exist, this is choice-worthy. I'm a knowledge. I perceive that I am, and I perceive that my friend is as well. This is choice-worthy also. About a friend as well. This is just as comparable perception about a friend as well. The activity of this perception arises in living together. This idea, this living together, this is wonderful. This is what is necessary. Yeah. This is why 12 is necessary. Chapter 12 here, and what is said here is kind of the friendship discussion, is very much helps us to flush out what does koinonia mean in a sense, living together, sharing a life together. And the friends, if activity of perception arises from living together. And the friends, understandably, aim at this result. They aim at living together, living well, right? Whatever existing is for each, or whatever the goal is for the sake of which they choose living, it is while being engaged in this that they wish to conduct their lives with their friends. So, in other words, that they exist for something. They exist to what goal? The for which the goal. What are they aiming their life towards? Now, they might aim their lives to different types of goods, right? The different goods. The good life. The good life. What is the good life? What is the good life? Every political system will seek a different, as Aristotle says in the Politics, that every political system it makes a specific claim about what is the good life. The regime or the political form that the city takes, the political community takes, is aims at towards a good life, the just, the best that they believe that they get as a koinonia. This is their this is their common good. This is the good that is theirs. Okay, so the activity of this perception arises living together, and friends understandably aim at this result. Whenever existing is for each, whatever the goal is for the sake of which they choose living, it is while being engaged in this that they wish to conduct their lives with their friends. So it is, so it is that some drink together, others play dice, still others exercise and hunt together or philosophize together, and all and each passing their days together in whatever they are fondest of in life. In other words, what do they hold as the good? What is the thing they care most for? The key thing that they care most for. They play dice and things like this. It can be that. It can be as simple as that. But they could go hunting, philosophizing together. Now, this is interesting that philosophizing is mentioned here. It's one of the few times philosophy is mentioned again. We talked about this philosophy is very rarely mentioned in politics. Here it's mentioned several times, um, a couple times in that sense, but rarely. It's not thrown around a lot. Therefore, this is that they are what they're hunt together or philosophize together, all each passing their days together, in whatever they are fondest of in life. 4. Since they wish to live with their friends, they pursue and share in those things in which they suppose living together consists. Now, 47. Now, there are some disputes among commentators about this final phrase, in which they suppose living together consists. Now, Gautier and Jaffa argue is a Paleonism. Argue is pale. Argue is. Burnett, example, argues for the reading of the manuscript. They do these things and share them as they're able. Gautier and Joliffe suggest they do these things and share in those in which they suppose life consists. Becker, Becker, they do these things and share in those in which they suppose living well consists. So there's a big debate about this phrase here, 34, and how we understand this phrase. For since they wish to live together with their friends, they pursue and share those things in which they suppose living well consists. Well, again, therefore, in which they suppose living well consists. Okay, then what is this? Then the other one is Burnett argues that they do these things and share in them as they are able. In other words, they do, that's or Gautier suggests they do things and share in them as they suppose life consists in doing. And Becker, they do these things and share in those in which they suppose they guess living well. So therefore, this is what this maybe all again maybe all, the Greek allows the flexibility here. How we understand this is that all three levels. This is true. This may be true at every one level. That this there it may be each one of these different readings of this passage gives off a possibility that we have to think about. The question of it is, what is the way it is? Is it one? Maybe it's all three. Maybe all of these issues are true in some way, or maybe one is more preferable than the other. So this is why the Greek sometimes gets us to reflect on this. In other words, thinking about this question about which one of these readings is the more correct. This is why looking at the Greek text kind of reflects and makes us think about well, what is the answer here? How should we read it and understand this? And what is the answer here? Is it all? Maybe it's all. Maybe it is all. Maybe there's a little bit of truth in every one level of this. That there's, yes, it is this way it is, but also maybe the perception of that my perception of it, the imperfect. We suppose what is good, and even this is some kind of benefit to this, right? Share in this. Now, the friendship of base people is corrupt, right? It says that the friendship of base people corrupt. They share in base things, and being unsteady, they come to be corrupt by becoming like one another. So therefore, they make each other similar corrupt, right? But the friendship of decent people is decent, and is increased by their associating with one another. So if corrupt people share with corrupt people, the corrupt will corrupt other people, and they keep on corrupting each other, and they become increasingly like each other, equally corrupt. But the good, the decent, become increasingly better, increasingly, in other words, they're decent and increased by their associating, they become more and more decent, okay? They also seem to become better by engaging in activity together and by correcting one another. For they take an imprint from one another of the qualities they find pleasing. So they take they imitate, or they imitate. They look at they find a quality of the other that they find pleasing, and they make it theirs. They imitate it. It becomes theirs, and therefore they become better. And everyone does this, following this better. The good people, the decent people, where they imitate each other, ultimately become better. But what about the question of the bad person, the good person? The bad person can corrupt the bad person will corrupt the bad. Why doesn't the good make the worse better? Both are true, he says. This is the problem. This is the danger here, right? Hence the saying, noble things from noble people, beautiful things from beautiful people. This is Theogenes, past 5, line 35, verse 5 and 35, referring to by Aristotle in 9:9, right? Book 9, chapter 9 earlier. The term translated as noble here is not kalos but eleus, which can, in other words, eleos. It's not kalos. So therefore, the good here is a different word. So therefore, the morally good of good, the good. Um, Hence, noble things from noble people. Here it is, the good things from good people. In other words, morally good and decent people. The this is what this painting. Let me check this off a second. Okay, I'm going to interrupt here. The eleos is very interesting in the Greek. I had to verify it. They're playing with morally good. It means worthy. It can mean as it's in the adjective, and epistemologically, it is from the Proto-Interlinear to exist, henai, to exist. It is a cognitive of to be, emi, emai. Usia, essence, is tied to usia, to be. It is a form of to be. There's its pronunciation is ethios. This is the feminine. It's an adjective. It's usually as an adjective. Um, in the poetic sense, it's good. You say good. We just loose sense. It's good. But it's of a person. If you speak it as a person, he's good at something. Good at fighting. Good at something. Good at. It's like um, good at soldierliness, warlikeness, braveness. Second categorization is worthy, serviceable, skilled, right? It can mean skilled, or morally good, or faithful, in this sense, of faithful, or showing good judgment, or things or abstractions of things, like again, good, excellent, fine, helpful, useful, right? This is a lower thing than beautiful. In other words, kalos, here, this line here, this is why it's interesting. This line, noble people from the, so it's the line in Greek is the ethios eleathos, right? The ta ta to ethi loy, right? Loy is, so it's um, these, not noble as in, let's go check. I want to make sure I'm right. I'm not gonna. I want to get the Greek right in a sense. Yeah, it's the same word for both. It's the ethelulun menai gap eps epsithelei AI. So the things of this. So the good things, the quote here is the eleuthenon, the good things, right? Um, come from, or go from these decent people, or good things, good persons. So it's interesting that the thing is moral, reservable, faithful. In other words, the fighting, good at something, good at, serviceable, worthy. Maybe worthy would be better. Worthy things from worthy people. That would be a better translation than noble. Worthy, not noble, not kalos, not beautiful, but worthy or valuable, or serve. In other words, showing good, faithful, or talking about good things, right? Serviceable, skilled, soldierly, brave, worthy, serviceable, skilled. So this idea of worthy would probably be better than noble in that sense. Worthy things. Not, this is where I'm going to pick on them. Worthy would have been a better word. Worthy things from worthy people. Now, it is a derivative of the good, of the good. Now, this is interesting. It is the derivative of the we say good. We say good things for good people, right? We would say good here. It is the synonym of this is towards agathos, not kalos. So why does he pick kalos? Why does Collins and thing pick kalos? Let's go look at, let's go pull the analytical guy, the analytics guy. These are always the kind of, let's go to an analytic. Oh, why don't you good? Let's go look at the last. We go there. Okay, we're going to go there. Sorry, we're going. He goes, yeah, from good men, good things. Okay, let's go look. Let's go look at the crazies. Let's go look at everyone else's. Um, Irving, third edition. Mm-hmm. Okay, and he says, what is nobler from noble? He checks noble also. He picks noble. I disagree with Irving. They're following Irving. Now, let's go look at therefore, I picked the analytical guy. That's an odd. I usually don't agree with them. Um, let's look at this. From nobler people, noble things. So therefore, Reeves follows noble. Sorry, Reeve. Why wouldn't you do worthy? Worthy or good is better. I think it doesn't. It isn't kalos. It is the word here focuses towards agathos, and it's not towards this. So why noble? Why do you pick kalos? Why kalos? It's not derivative of kalos. The etymology is the synonym in this sense for this. Maybe I'm maybe their Greek is probably better than mine, but let's go look at this and just look at that in that sense. Book 9, the last chapter. And noble people nobly again, nobly, noble. So therefore, all the critics moderns went like this. It's ironically the analytic, which I'm kind of agreeing with, that as they say prefer good, I preferred worthy. I think worthy would be a better word here. So let's stop here and then let's look at the last paragraph. The last sentence of this chapter here is, let us consider, let what concerns friendship then be stated up to this point. So therefore, we're concluding. Following what is next, following next in order would be to go through what concerns pleasure. So we're going to go pleasure. We're going to go return to pleasure. We're going to return to the question of pleasure again, the pleasant and the good in that sense. So therefore, that's let what concerns friendship then be stated up to this point. So let's conclude. Let's stop. We're at the end of friendship, and now we're going to go turn to pleasure. Book 10, pleasure. So we return back as the introduction of book 1 now to this, and we'll get to the question of pleasure. We'll stop here. We'll conclude here. If you please have any comments or questions, please put them below. If you have any issues or you want some things of clarification about what we've done in chapter 9, please give it. And then if you liked it, hit the like button. Hit the like button, please. It helps the channel. It helps get the algorithm going in YouTube to get people to watch us. If you've liked it, share it. Share the video far and wide. Share it in your social media. Share it share it to friends. Bring attention to this thing or the channel on this thing. Other earlier, maybe even earlier videos on the ethics that they might to friends that you might be interested in. We're studying this and might be interested in going through this and having a chance to go study the ethics. Like it, hit the like button, but also hit if you've not subscribed, please yet or haven't yet subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Help grow the channel. It helps build the channel to get critical mass and get more attention. Another thing you can do is, well, if you didn't like it, you can say, no, I didn't like it. But say why in the comments. That way we can, benefit. People can benefit from it. Another thing you can do is, if you want to follow me on social media, you can follow the social media links below. If you want to know more about me as an academic and check out my research and scholarship things, you can check the academic social media below the social media links. Another thing you want to help me to do what I do, you can do so financially in a sense. Want to contribute to this and help me do these things. I don't have, I'm not monetized yet in the system, so that I'm not going to ever put ads on this. It's silly. But there's the money button. No, there's a money super chats or things like that. I don't have that yet. I'm not big enough. What I can do here is you can do so through subscribe to our Patreon if you wish to. That it would help. It does everything a little bit helps. On this, I'll let you go. And what you can do is you can buy one of my books listed below through your local bookstore or through an online server like Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or any other type service like that. Or you can do it through the publishers themselves. Well, that's it. I'll let you guys go. We turn next to Book 10, Chapter 1, Book 10, discussing the question of pleasure, the pleasant. And take care. Take care. Bye-bye. Have a good one.